Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a nice privilege and honor for us to see Chairperson ISTD Noida chapter is here with us. She is online available, and we all should congratulate, as we discussed. She has become the vice president of one of the company over there. That's how easy. And
congratulations,
madam. Should we start? I think.
Yeah, please. So allow me to welcome everyone right now. So good afternoon to everyone. Actually, my warm welcome to everyone. So on the behalf of our ISTD Noida chapter, I welcome all the participants who have joined till and who are about to join. In fact, so I think this is the after this tenure, I think this is the second program in row.
Correct. Yes.
This is the second program, and we'll be keep on doing that. So to the newcomers, to the speakers, actually, I would like to tell about the ISTD first, so that she'll be becoming a member also. So in future, because she she need to know about the Indian Society of Training and Development. So I welcome my special welcome to my special speaker today, actually. So I think she is in the row. Isn't it?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let me tell you specifically, because all of the members actually they know about the ISTD, but especially for you, I'll be telling you something about the ISTD. So, as you know, ma'am, the Indian Society of Training and Development is a non-profit registered society. Actually, it got established in 1970. Actually, it's a very old background, in fact. So, it is affiliated to the IFTDO, that is a International Federation of Training and Development Organization USA, and the ARTDO, that is a Asian Regional Training and Development Organization, Manila. So, the flagship membership, if I'll be talking about the more than 10,000 individual members we are having in ISTD, and more than 500 plus institutional members are with the ISTD associated with us, actually. So the flagship program of the ISTD is the postgraduate diploma course in the training and development, which is unique in itself in total Asia Pacific region. It is an 18-month distance learning program, which is the every 6 months the new batches commenced, in fact. So the upcoming batch is there into the January right now. So ISTD conduct actually the both the national level and the international level program. And as I told you, we are affiliated to the IFTDO, and this year only I will witness the IFTDO program, actually, which has been the IFTDO India has been conducted in Delhi, in fact. And it was such a wonderful program. Actually, it was such a great delight to be the part of that program, in fact. So after 49th, it was the 49th International Federation of the Training and Development Organization, which was the world level conference, actually, which organized on 24th and 26th April this year only. So many country participants participated into it, actually. So ISTD has initiated, apart from all these, ISTD initiated various awards on annual basis to encourage and to recognize their members and to encourage the HRD professionals in the country, like a National Award for Innovative Training Practices, Best Member Award, the Book Award for the encouraging the Indian writer in the field of the management, actually. The Best Chapter Award we are having, the Best Small Chapter Award we are having to encourage the chapters, actually, because the all association is based on the chapter. We are having the almost 50 chapters right now till date, in fact, into the ISTD, actually. So ISTD is giving the award to the Best Paper Award also. There is a Kamla Award given to the Best Women Writer for the best article published in the IJTD during the year. IJTD is the Indian Journal of the Training and Development Organization, which is published by the Indian Society of the Training and Development, actually. So ISTD, apart from this, ISTD is the fellowship is also confirmed every year who have distinguished themselves in the field of learning and development, L&D, and the people who are working in the field for at least 15 years. and whose life membership is at least 3 years old, they have been confirmed the fellowship from the ISTD actually. So these are the smaller wrap up about the Indian Society of Training and Development. So I will not be taking the much time. In fact, so moderator, I have got a Dr. Ruby is the moderator, and the Wing Commander Verma is already there. In fact, to organize everything. So once again, from my side, warm welcome to all the participants who were attached, and the wonderful speaker and the wonderful moderator. So once again, welcome from my side, and that's it. I'm handing over the mic to the Wing Commander Verma now.
Madam, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All of us missed your new appointment, Vice President. Please tell a few lines before you
I have joined actually in the recently, because this is the lifetime opportunity I have catch actually, because my appointment is no retirement basis. So it is a great delight for me actually, because in this time there's a Vice President Gas Lab Asia I have joined actually. It's a 40 years old manufacturing company. It's a unique in total Asia Pacific region. They are actually manufacturing the plant which is generating CO2 end-to-end biogas generation plant actually. And this is 100% export. They are doing the export into. So by August only that this is a new assignment I have picked up actually. So I am very much thankful whomsoever have congratulated and who are about to congratulate, I can say. Who has not yet congratulated me. I'm expecting them to congratulate me as well and wish me luck too, so that I'll be fulfilling the expectation of the management of mine. Okay, so thank you once again. Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are all here to discuss and talk. Leave our one speaker from Oman, Ms Preeti Bhaskar, Dr Preeti Bhaskar. And the topic is stepping into the future of work. As we all know, as she has written, the world of work is changing. And what will be the future of work by 2050? So that is a kind of very interesting topic, and it excites me. And I personally feel all the members of ISTD Noida chapter, this topic will touch in some way or other. And we have the moderator, Dr. Ruby Sengar, with us, who has connected with Preeti Bhaskar to us. And she is an assistant professor, Jaypee University, Noida. In poster, it was wrongly written, but that's all right. And then we have the special invitee, Virendra Kumar Sharma. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And we have Ms Anuja Sehgal. I think her video could not come, but I will request now to Anuja Sehgal to introduce our panelist, and then we will proceed further.
Thank you, Wing Commander Verma. And it's really delightful moment to be in the session again. Congratulations to Ms Seema Sinha for a new role in a new organization, and I wish her good luck for her role and her performance in this. Now I would like to first introduce the speakers for the day. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, please go.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to welcome Mr. V K Sharma. Mr. V K Sharma is an experienced, he's an experienced industry professional, certified coach. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
He's a certified coach, and he has over four decades of varied experience in India's large companies and conglomerates. He has worked as Vice President HR and Personal and Administration with companies like Aditya Birla Group, Grasim Industries, Bharat Oman Refineries, DCM Shriram Industries, Hindustan Lever Limited, Dabur India Limited. He is very well associated with a lot of associations all over India, and he is a member of National Board for Workers' Education and Development. He is a member of Aviar Educational Hub, Noida. He is a member of Management and Entrepreneurship and Professional Skills Council. member of the Apprenticeship Advisory Board, UP Lucknow, Joint Secretary of Merit Management Association, President of Nagra Employers Association, Noida Management Association, Ghaziabad Management Association, Indian Society of Training and Development Noida Chapter, Trainer Faculty at V Giri National Labour Institute. His HR service competency areas include HR analytics, industrial relations, legal compliances, productivity improvement, skill building, capability building, manpower optimization, union management, advisory and procedures, domestic departmental inquiry, employee surveys, organizational interventions, competency mapping, and assessment centers. He is currently founder, owner of IVK Dynamic Leadership Center. I welcome you, Mr. V K Sharma, as a special invitee for the session.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to tell you about our moderator, Dr. Ruby Sengar. Dr. Ruby Sengar has a total experience of 11 years and has worked with organizations like Symbiosis International University, Pune, BML Munjal University, Hero Group, Amity University, and so on. She's currently involved in 2 research projects, one with Professor of IIM Ahmedabad and the other with XLRI professors, and also with a company named Nielsen. She has been guiding 6 research scholars, including both international and national scholars. She has conducted many MDP in organizations like Ambuja Siemens, Asahi India, Jubilant Life Sciences, Godrej, etc. She is a keen academician, researcher, and author. She has several research papers in journals of repute, that of Scopus Index, ranked in ABDC, Web of Science, etc. She is a reviewer of many renowned journals like the Journal of Managerial Psychology, which is ABDC A category, Journal of Organizational Analysis, ABDC B category, etc. Dr. Ruby Sengar is a PhD in OB and HRM from IIT Roorkee. She is currently assistant professor and area chair HR with Jaypee University, Noida. I welcome you, ma'am, as the moderator of the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I would now like to invite and welcome our speaker of the day, Dr. Preeti Bhaskar. She's a BBA, MBA, PhD HRM from ICFA University. She's currently a lecturer at the University of Technology and Applied Sciences. She has a total work experience of 16 years with organizations like ICFA Business School, IMS Unison University, Symbiosis International University, Multi-Animal Modi, New Horizons India Limited, Unicorn Investment Solutions, MetLife, and ICICI Bank. She's a keen academician and has many research papers in conference proceedings, reputed journals, magazines, book chapters, and case studies. She has more than 20 publications in Scopus Index, ABDC, A category, B category, C category journals of publisher InterScience and Everett, with citations over 823 and H index 11. She has presented at many international national conferences, seminars, and webinars. She has conducted several FDP, EDP, and SDP programs on knowledge sharing, effective teaching tools, research, and manuscript writing. She is an esteemed reviewer for more than 20 renowned journals related to innovation, business, learning, change, information, technology, marketing, electronics, and management practice. She has several awards and achievements to her credit. She has recently been awarded the Outstanding Paper in 2022 by Emerald Literate Awards for the article Impact of Coronavirus Pandemic on the Indian Education Sector, Perspectives of Teachers on Online Teaching and Assessments in the journal Interactive Technology and Smart Education. She has received Staff of the Year Award in 2021 from University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Oman, for excellent contribution in the year. She has been awarded Best Paper Award for School is Not Out for Teachers. Contribution of continuing education on the career growth and development of teachers in higher education institutions.
We can reduce few of them. I think we did.
Yeah, and the same was awarded in 8th London School of Management Education International Research Conference on Sustainability Development and Education. She has been an eminent judge at ICFAI Business School, Dehradun, and at St. George College in 2019-20. She has been awarded Certificate of Appreciation from New Delhi Municipal Council, and she is also a Merit Scholar holder in MBA from ICFAI Business School, Best Management Student, ICFAI Business School, and she has received first prize in Business Idea Generation and Market Planning from ICFAI Business School. So I welcome you and many congratulations for being part of this session of ours, and we hope to have a long association and a lot of learning from you in manuscript writing and other areas of interest. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was too detailed of my intro. I will just try to stick to myself as a normal person, as one of the experience sharing in this session.
Name, Dr. Preeti, Dr. Ruby shared with me 11 pages. So
I shared the short brief about it yesterday also.
It was a wonderful
so
profile.
That's great.
I mean, profile.
Keep doing it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you so much, sir.
Yes, further. Anuja ji, next. Bata dijiye.
Yeah, may I welcome Dr. Ruby to coordinate the session and moderate as required with the special invitee and Dr. Preeti Bhaskar.
I think initially I will request Dr. V K Sharma ji to speak for 5-7 minutes before we listen to Dr. Preeti.
Thank you, Verma ji. As we know, the world is changing very fast. Our society is changing. Our education system is changing. Our market is changing. Our need is changing. Our technology is changing. So everything is changing in the market. Start from the day one to last day of the life. So we have to think, rather we have to rethink how quickly we can learn new things in this change environment. So now learning has become an important issue. What our ISTD is doing, we are trying to develop that kind of competency in our all team members. That is the purpose of ISTD. Second thing is, now technology is changing so fast. Earlier, we were thinking we are living in 2 generations or maximum 3 generations. Now we are living sometimes 4 generations. I can quote one example where the father is there, son is there, and grandson is there. Earlier, we were thinking these are the 3 generations because the generation gap almost 40 years. Then it has been reduced to 25 or 20 years. Now it has come down 10 years, or in some cases, it is less than 5 years. If somebody has the 2 sons and there is an age difference of 10 years, it means there are 3 generations. The 1-year-old and 11-year-old son do not have the same kind of thinking pattern. That kind of change is there. So we have to ready to adopt the new things quickly. We have to learn new things. Sometimes we have to do reskilling or upskilling, or sometimes we have to unlearn the old things which are not required now. Second thing, which is more important, we are dealing with the business people. We are in business environment. So business is changing. So we have to fulfill the need of the business. Either we are doing domestic business or we are doing international business. We are doing the manufacturing business. We are doing in the service sector. We are in any other sector. Everywhere, three things are changing very fast. Number one is automated future is taking place. Things are being automated very fast. Everybody is aware what kind of artificial intelligence is taking place. Robotics is coming very fast. So we have to learn these things if we want to survive as a common man and we want to enjoy our life. Now there is one very good quote. Who is a smart person now? Can anybody help me? Who is a smart person now? Who can handle the smartphone? Because everything is on tips. He can get and he can share and he can deliver. So we have to be very smart with the technology. So first thing we have to bother how quickly we can update our AI or automated life. Second thing is the productive change. Earlier people were thinking, believe me. Now nobody can believe you as a person. Everybody want to say, show me, because everybody want to show the performance. That is the cultural change. Number three is the need of pedagogical changes. Take an example of academia and industry. Earlier, academia was thinking we are running one course in mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, and we can run that engineering college. But now it is not possible because the need of the industry is changing very fast. They have to upgrade their courses. They have to upgrade their they have to upgrade their learning pattern, and they have to serve the industry, then they can survive. So this kind of changes are coming in the society, and we have to fulfill those things, then we can survive. Otherwise, we cannot survive. Take an example, another example of cultural change. Earlier, people were thinking we can enjoy our life with certain value system. Now you have to adopt the new value system, which are coming very fast. Earlier, nobody was bothering what is the value of speed. Now everybody is bothering, we have to speed up our actions. Until unless we will not deliver our service or our product on time, we cannot survive. Some industry is running on just or jot. Just means just in time, or jot in just on time. So we don't want to maintain any industry in our warehouses, or we don't want to invest that much of money in our businesses. So we have to learn so many new things, then we can understand and we can face this kind of the technological change, or you can say the social transformation, and we can proceed further. Third thing is, which is very important, we have to learn from AI and technology. Earlier, we were collecting the data, we were taking time. Now, you have to develop the certain software in your computer, in laptop, in your mobile, or you can collect the data, you can analyze, and you can feed to your customer or to your service required person. Take an example of a doctor. If a doctor wants to give the prescription to any patient, so he has to create, or she has to create the history, then he can understand, or she can understand effectively what kind of medicines are available, what kind of treatment I can give, what kind of tools and techniques for the operations are available. That kind of automation is coming very fast. The same thing we have to adopt as a training professionals in our trainings. What kind of need society is facing? What kind of service we can give to our service takers? Take an example. Earlier, people were not bothering coaching. Now, coaching has become a very important tool to unleash the potential of the next person, because the potential is unlimited. And unless we will not unleash the potential, we cannot take the person as a whole. There are the data where the science is saying we are utilizing the human mind maximum 13%. Maximum 13%. Average people are using 5 to 7%. It means our 90% mind we are not utilizing. So this is the required area of training and development team professionals. They can understand the value of coach. They can develop this kind of systems and they can unleash the potential of the human being and serve the society very effectively. So these are some areas where we can focus and we can change ourselves and we can develop the beautiful India as our new generations are thinking. As I have narrated, in houses, earlier people were thinking we are living in 2 generations or 3 generations. Now, as I have quoted, there is no limit of generations. After every 5 years, you will find the another generation. The change is taking place so fast. Even if we will not update ourselves, we will not reskill or upskill ourselves, we cannot serve to the society, we cannot serve to our customers. So this kind of change are coming. That is why ISTD or so many other professional bodies are working. That is why we are trying to develop that kind of system in the society so that we can match with the need of our customers and we can provide the service in time so that people can understand, they can unleash their potential and they can serve to the next person in case of product or in case of service or in case of any other area. So this is the crux of the day, how quickly we can learn and how quickly we can feed the new tools and techniques of the learnings to our customers or our learned next generations so that they can grow and they can enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharma ji. Dr. Ruby, please take over.
Thank you so much, sir, for a wonderful discussion over the changes that are happening nowadays. And correctly stated by you, change is something that's, it is something which is completely inevitable. I mean, the world will not exist if we don't change. And as people say, change is the only constant. And we all know the world is changing at a very, very fast pace. And if we people, as humans, don't change, we will not be able to survive. So change is something each one of us look forward to, and specifically that
Madam, we are not getting your voice. Can you
hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that, as correctly stated by sir, that change is the only constant and the world is changing at a very, very fast. And as humans need to change along with it, it is difficult for us
May I request all those who are not talking, please switch off mute, or I will just mute all and I will request Dr. Ruby to unmute and speak. Dr.
Right.
Ruby, please.
Yes. So, as talking about the theme of today's session, which is stepping into the future of work, as sir correctly stated that, changes are happening in AI. A lot of automation happening, introduction of robotics into various fields, be it restaurants or be it the manufacturing industry. The usage of robotics has increased a lot, and it's actually making us do the more smart work rather than doing the hard work, because it actually, enhances our productivity and the performance. If we go back and see 3-4 decades back, we were not having the computers. These were basically introduced in a country like India in 1980s, the early 1980s. And that is when basically the work which used to be, happening in the manual version turned into doing things using technology like computer. It made the world very, very easier for all of us. And now, since after the pandemic, and although the pandemic is still on, it has also, helped in changing a lot of things, which has made our life very, very easier. Earlier, if we see, we were not having any sort of recruitments that were happening online. We had to be physically present in the organizations for the recruitment. Now, if we see, online recruitments are very, very easy and possible because of the technology, and of course, because of the pandemic, which we all, have seen in 2020, and the coronavirus, which has changed the lives of us. But if we see from the technological perspective, the life has become very, very easier. So, in this tone for the session, I would like to invite Dr. Preeti to continue with her words of wisdom on this topic, and let's understand this topic from her experience and learning. So I would like to welcome her. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruby. Thank you so much. And I hope that most of you have understood the topic has been, as rightly said by Sir Virendra Kumar Sharma sir and our moderator. They have rightly touched the topic. And the same way I'm going to discuss about the importance of technology, but my focus will be on the future. Like, the technology is already there. It's not that something that is going to be new in the future. It was already there. Something is happening in present, and how it is going to affect our future workforce, that I would like to talk about. As an HR specialist, my focus will not be on talking on the how this technology is important, but I would like to focus on the few key points that how the workforce will be impacted, or the future work will be impacted in the future. So that for that reason, I would like to first share my screen. That is going to help me to give you the clear facts and figures that how the work is going to be changed in the future. So can you please confirm me my screen is visible?
It's coming.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So I would like to know here that would you like to put questions at the end of the session or in between the session?
Whatever suits you. You can show slides though.
Okay, sir. I'll just make a quick slide run. So my screen is visible. Can you just confirm me one more time, sir?
Yes.
Okay, great, sir. So here I'm going to talk about the topic, which is about the future of work. First of all, let us understand what is this term future of work. It is not only about the technology. We are going to talk about that how the future workplace is going to change, our places, our practices, how it is going to be different in the year 2050. Before we talk about the 2050, let me just put up some key points before we talk about the future workplaces in the technology. According to the Shrimps and the Wills Tower Watson report, we have understood that the 85% of the jobs that will be existing in the 2030 have not been invented yet. We are in year 2022. That's mean a span of 8 years and new jobs will be created. Have we really identified what type of jobs will be there? And as an academicians, are we really preparing our generation to have that jobs in the future? That is one of the key points that I would like to address here. And because of the pandemic, like Dr. Ruby already highlighted, that because of the pandemic, things have changed a lot. Most of the industries have their working patterns have changed a lot. So I'm going to touch on the few points which have going to be changed because of the introduction of the technology, how it is going to change in the future. Now, there are three key elements that we need to understand at the present to understand the future. There are three key elements that I'm going to discuss today is how the work will be done in the future, who's going to do that work, and when and where this work will be done. If we are able to identify and understand these three questions, definitely we can have some clarity that how the future work practices will be looking like. So the first I'm going to start with the how the work will be done. As our special guest has already mentioned here, that the work will be done through the artificial intelligence. It will be a lot of automation. There will be a lot of robotics in the future. Artificial intelligence has already reduced our work to a lot, and many organizations are investing huge part of their profits on their artificial intelligence. Like there is a few quotes that I have quoted here, that the 75% of our executives are really planning to spend more on the AI, and they believe that it is going to help them to make their work much more easier. Against 86% of the executives are also saying that it is going to become their mainstream technology. We have to think that whether human will be there or only the artificial intelligence will be existing. So another important thing, automation. Automation of the things have been done from long time. It's not a present thing. We are using the computers, we are using the vehicles, we are using the so many things which is completely automated. Like Ruby has highlighted that the work which we were doing manually, now it's been done by the computer. But I would like to highlight here, which is again a robotics. Again, I will not say it is a new thing, but definitely robotics is going to be the one of the future that we are going to work with. Imagine me and you are sitting here, and again our co-workers are robotics, because the robotics is becoming another important thing, that the work will be done through the robots. So first thing I would like to discuss the first element of the future of the work, that how the work will be done. So here you can see the images. I hope you can get a basic idea that the robots are already in the place. I don't want to highlight at the international level what is happening. We are in the developing countries. We have a difference of the technology. We have different constraints. So I want to highlight the example that how the technology is being used in India itself, and how robotics are going to be used in the future, and how they have been used in the present. So there is a very interesting stories here. There is a chitty town, and which is serving the foods through the by the robots, and they are being used and replace the human being. Imagine if this is going to happen in the future. All the restaurants are here, the people are there for delivery of the foods, for serving the foods. How many people will be working in this restaurant sector? So robots are taking over there. So recently in the Noida also, there is a one more robotic restaurant has been used. So now if it is going to happen in the future, my perspective will be the HR, whether the people will be required to be employed in the restaurant sectors or not. In the one of the slides, I'm going to highlight this part also, that how the tourism and hospitality sector will be affected by the robots. We are saying that the work which is clerical in the nature can be done. There are already robot restaurants in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Noida. So list is going on and on. They are spreading their chains. So is it going to make an effect on the future or not? That is one thing that we are going to discuss here. And to make it more of the appealing to the Indian, they are making the robots not like that we see in the movies, that okay, there is an architecture, the robots is coming, machine is coming. So the structure is also being customized to make it more appealing to the Indian sector. So in this slide, you can just see robots are already being used, but maybe the work will be little less, maybe the work will be little more. So first of all, the automotive industry, where the first thing we have seen robots, that the machines are coming, robots are coming, they're assembling. May not be physically look like a robots, but machines were being used and they have arms fixing one place, another place that way. So in the automotive industry, the articulated robots are there, Delta robots are there, which are assembling different products, cutting their fabrics. Again, the loading, unloading work has been done. And when you see all those work, which I have described, earlier they were done by the human being. So those jobs which are done by the human has now been, we can say, they have been done by the robots. Then lastly, I would like to highlight the cobots, which is again a new type of robots that will be there. We look for customization. We want things as per our perspective. So the cobots, robots are going to be there, which can do the work as per the customization and the requirements of the people which are going to put an order. So as a human being, sometimes we make an error or may not understand their customization properly. So the cobots are going to be there, and many automotive industries are willing to spend huge money on the robotics. It is going to save their cost. So again, the question rises whether the people who are working in the automotive industry in the following areas will be employed in the future. Will that type of jobs will be existing in the future or not? Plastic and chemical industry, tank cleaning, packaging, shipping, injection modeling, all those aerial drones where people are being earlier replaced by CCTV cameras. To check the work, we were having a people. Then CCTV cameras came into the picture. Those security guards, people have lost their jobs. Now we are saying in the future, the aerial drones will be there, which can be moving around. CCTVs are fixed. They can actually just check a limited space. But with the aerial drones, it will be like everywhere. So definitely this is also going to be a future where people are going to lose their job again. Pharmaceutical sector, which is another important sector for our Indian sector. Imagine the people who are working in the laboratories. They are responsible to make sure that the chemical composition is perfect to make a perfect medicine. Now, if that work will also be done by the robots, we say that the human may have a chances of errors, but with the robots, if they have been programmed properly, they are going to make it in the right proportion, and there will be no chances of errors where the medicine may be not properly consumed or has been contaminated. And we say that in the pharmaceutical industry, we human being have a little bacteria. If it has been touching to a particular part, it may get affected. So with the robots, we will not have this issue. So again, pharmaceutical industry may also get affected at a large level with the robots. Warehouse and logistics. Day before yesterday, I was having some discussions with the people about the warehouse and logistics. So they were saying that we would like to request you to prepare your students for the warehouse and logistic industry. E-commerce is going very high. Then I said that, okay, fine. You are saying that let me prepare my students for the warehouse and logistic industry. But look at the facts. Every work is being done by the robots in the future. So if they study today, how it is going to help them to get a jobs in the future? Material handling, order picking, making the labeling, packaging, box making, delivery is being done by the robots. Like in the restaurants, even if we talk about the other countries, they are having a robots who are delivering the products to the customers. They have a fixed routes. So what about the future jobs? Are we really preparing these students in the right directions or not? Agriculture, this is something that we have largely in India. The agriculture sector is there. So right now we are talking about the electric cars on the road. We are saying they are going to be a self-driving tractors, vehicles. They are going to be weeding robots. That means they can actually identify which type of insects are affecting the crops, which type of pesticization need to be done for the agriculture sector. We can actually identify very clearly by the robots without any error. So the fruits which are going to be produced, whether they have been properly ripe or not ripe, we can just check by the robots. So you can see where the work which was being done by the human being have a high probability that they will be done by the robots. So if I will be going on the each industry, it will be a lot of time consuming. So there is another slide which I have highlighted, that the sector, the major sector, it is going to be affected by the robots, artificial intelligence, automation, and we call it is a creative destruction. Not like a creative part, but we are seeing the creative destruction of the human skills that are human jobs that is going to be happen by the 2030. So this is one of the 2019 Oxford economic study, and it says that by 20 years, the global robot production will increase by 20 million. That's mean the future, our co-workers will be robots. There are high chances. So this creative destruction is going to be largely seen in the manufacturing sector, healthcare sector, retail sector, banking and financial sectors. Talking from the Indian perspective, banking and financial sectors have a lot of clerical workers who have been employed here. And we all know that there are some work which are repetitive in the task. So we are predicting that by they are going to be replaced in the future, and they will not be required to do that task because that work can be done by the robots. Recently, I came across a very interesting study where they have said that the financial advisors who give us an advice where to spend our money. So we say that the human may make some wrong decisions, and we are saying that the robots are having an artificial intelligence. They have been programmed in such a way to take a right decisions. The financial advisors positions, they will be into the question mark. We are already having a lot of applications which is giving us a right decision where to invest our money, ET money. If you talk about every day, I come across some advertisement which talks about where should I invest my money. So if these applications are giving me suggestions, where is the role of human being? Another retail sector, we have already seen that no more we see the salespeople in the retail stores now. Decathlon is a recent example that I came across. I went to the store, I pick up my products, I put in the baskets, it automatically check my bars and billing is done. I just tap my card and went out. So where is the role of human? So if we see these things, it's going to give us a big question mark. Are we really going to have people working in the organization, or is it going to be robots? Healthcare sector, where the nurses are working at large level to take care of the patients. They have some work which is being regularly being done by them, like checking the weather, taking the temperature of the person, making their veins, taking their blood pressure, and moving the patient from the bed to the wheelchair is a tough task. And we say that can be easily done by the robots. So if that sector will be also impacted, again, hospital sector is also likely to be changed. And lastly, I will talk about the manufacturing sector. It is already there. AI is there, automation is there. So manufacturing is very broad. So that's why I did not keep a highlight that, okay, which manufacturing sector, their artificial intelligence we are already seeing. So you can see how this creative destruction is going to be impacted, whether we are going to be sitting here or not. Another important slide that I have here kept is for the analysis done by the McKinsey company. The percentage of the work that can be done by human being and the percentage of work that can be done by the artificial intelligence or maybe the robots or by the any other technology. So here you can see the graphs. Accommodation and food service is likely to be mostly automated. Agricultural, manufacturing, transportation, retail, mining, percentage may be more or less, but they will be impacted. Even like I'm from the academicians, so I say that even the education services has been automated a lot, and we can expect a future where the robots are teaching the students and we are just simply doing the guidance and just telling them that how students to deal with those things. So maybe the repetitive task of doing the checking, examination, that can be done by the robot very easily. So now here, the question arises, the workforce will be human or robots? As per my conclusion, my perception, I says that it is going to be a combination. I will be doing some work as a human being, and there will be some work that will be done by the robots. And we can see in the previous slides also the clerical work, it will be done by the robots, and the decision-making skills, that thinking process, that will be done by the human being. So the future workforce is going to be in combination. And if I ask this question to my all of the audience, and maybe we can take this question at the end of the day, how comfortable we are sitting next to the robot and working? If we feel that they are more smarter than us, we may feel inferior, or we may be likely to get more dependent on them to get our work done. So are we really prepared to work with the robots or not? We are struggling with these smartphones. We are learning so many things, and now we have to learn the robots which are already going to overpower our knowledge in the future. So are we really prepared or not? That is one of the questions that we can take at the end of the session. So one fact that I would like to share here, this was one of the study that I came across, and I really like the fact where 69% people said that we are happy to have our robots as a co-worker. Maybe that is a generation gap. Maybe new generation will be coming in the future, and they are already working on the technology. They are living with the technology. They are playing games on the technology. They are always around with the gadgets. So maybe if they are going to be the employee of the future, maybe that for that reason, they are saying that we are happy with the employees who are going to be robots in the future. And close to 70%, they says that we have to customize our job analysis for the future. We have to be more employee intelligent. We have to have a job description for the robots in the future. So what work will be done by me and what work will be done by the robots? So the same, we have to identify the job analysis for that. So that is a HR perspective. We have to think a lot that the future workforce, human resource planning, we are talking about the training, we are talking about, we need to have a specific programs for the robots, and we need to have a specific programs for the human being. So this was a complete fact and figures where I was seeing that, okay, 69% were happy, 70% were like want to have their intelligent workers. Some people said that the manual worker should be more rewarding than the robots working. So this was one of the slides that really gave me a thought that, okay, are we really prepared, or are we just overthinking that robots are going to take away our jobs? Now, as I said, that the work will be done, artificial intelligence, automation, robotics. The second important element of the future of work is who's going to do this work. There are key terms that I have highlighted here: the part-time employee, full-time employee, crowdsourcing, gig workers. So right now I can see here, there are a lot of people who are having independent working things available with them. They don't want to work on the full-time jobs. There are a lot of things that are changing with the generation. So the gig workers are basically independent workers. So technology is already there. I know how to run the technology. And if I can have that flexibility of working at my home and can have my own company, why should I go for a job? So in organization, whether these people will be having a right talent or these talent are going to create their own subject areas. So the gig workers are going to be the future, we say that. So we are saying that since 2010 also the 15% of the workforce has been becoming a gig workers. The job proportions are really changing. Second important thing, before I move to the other part, I would like to show here the some of the facts that has been from the Indian context. So in India, the Niti Aayog has done a survey and they found that 2.35 crores by 2019-30, 77 lakh people will be into the gig workers. So most of the people are not looking for a full-time job. They want to have their independent working setup where they can do their work either online or offline. It is going to create a large number of opportunity for the people who are looking for something to do with the technology or create their own independent space. So when they are going to be the gig workers, there are advantages also. When you're working independently, you don't have a particular processes that you have to follow. You can work at your home. Even the people, sometimes we say that people, female, are not getting an equal opportunity, or sometimes they say after marriage, their career is getting a block. So this gig worker is going to give them a lot of opportunity to have their own independent workspace and contribute largely and be there on their jobs. Similarly, people with the physical disabilities, they can be largely using the technology and be self-employed, not being dependent on any other person. So gig workers are another important thing that is going to be the future of the workforce. And one more term that I'm going to talk here about the crowdsourcing. We are talking about the crowdfunding a lot of time. But again, crowdsourcing is something that we need to understand, and because that is also going to be the future of the work. What is a crowdsourcing? First of all, let us understand. Let me just start with a very simple example of the Google. When we have any problem, when we come across any problem, we type in the Google and we get the solution. There are some people who are putting up their solution in the Quora.com. There are multiple websites, and you put up your solution because you have a knowledge for it. So this is the basically the crowdsourcing, crowd plus outsourcing. We are outsourcing our work. Organization are outsourcing that work to the general crowd, and they take their solutions and utilize them in their company. So if there a crowd is already working, willing to work, are we really going to have an employee in the futures in the organization? Again, that is another question that we can have a detailed discussion. So the crowdsourcing is going to be there a lot. There are a lot of websites which are giving an opportunity to the independent worker to come and give the solutions. Where the companies are failing, they are going into the crowd or taking their help to solve those problems. So that is another thing, that who will be doing that work? Gig workers, crowdsourcing, and part-time employees and the full-time employees. And the last question, that the element of the future work is where this work will be done. You can see here, collated workplace, remote work for workers, and the fluid worker schedules. Remote workers, we have already seen during pandemic, it has become a success. Most of the jobs which were not being done as a remote has now been converted permanently for the remote worker, even after the pandemic has slightly got over. So the 41% of the worker which are willing to work on the remote basis without any timeline. Same way, the collated workspace, there are some jobs which cannot be done at the remote workers. So we have to call them to the office, but we have to identify very clearly which jobs can be done by the remote, taking the advantages of the remote workers. And we can also talk about the employees which are actually required to be called in the office for the worker. And the last one is the fluid work schedule. Our generation is like we want flexibility a lot. We want to have our personal life also. We want to have a professional life also. And when I ask this question in my class, why are you late at 8 a.m.? What is your problem? Why can't you come on time? They have a one answer only. Teacher, we did not got up early in the morning. We can work till late night, but we cannot get up early in the morning. So that fluid work schedule, different work schedules can be offered to the type of people where they would like to work. If it is an independent worker, they can definitely have their fluid work schedules. Already many companies are offering this flexibility to the employees, but not at the large level in many organizations. So these are the three key elements that I would like to highlight here as the elements of the future of work. Who will be doing this work, where the work will be done, and how the work will be done. So before I say that okay, how we should be preparing, so I would like to just interrupt in between, and I would like to just make a little discussion here. with these things, elements that I have talked about, how the work will be changed, where the work will be changed, and how the work will be done. Uh, do you think that we are really prepared for the future of work at present? I would like to take an opinion from the audience.
Well, I think, yes, the coming generation, as earlier also said, the generation difference is becoming smaller and smaller. So the coming generations are very much hooked up to these kind of things. We are already seeing moonlighting. We are already seeing gig workers. We are already seeing people are not only working from home, but they are working from anywhere. Yeah, I see my children. They say, "Ki acha, abhi next weekend I'm going out for a week." So I said, "Chutti hai kya?" Bole, "Chutti nahi hai, working from the hills." So that kind of thing is already happening. So new generation, what new people who are coming out of college, they are already into it, and yeah, so that is there. And regarding robotics, there could be mixed opinions. I would say as long as automation and AI is beneficial to us, yes. If they are helping us to do more work and helping us bring more knowledge, yes, more information, yes, they are acceptable. But if they are competing, of course, competition may not be really possible. My two cents.
Thank you so much, sir. Even I agree with the same points. Like when I say this thing to the students, okay, student, this is the concept, this is the explanation. They immediately go to the Google and they cross-verify whether the teacher is correct or not. So same way when we are going to be with the robots, it will be like we think that, okay, they are going to be overpowering us to cross-check our knowledge and should not be losing our, like our own knowledge. This is what we have been observing a lot with my generation, working when I'm teaching them. So thank you so much for sir agreeing for my point that yes, if it is going to be the negative side, we have to prepare ourselves for the future. So thank you so much for your point, sir. So next, I would like to continue in the same way that how we should be preparing ourselves for the future. Like the generation is preparing themselves. Even the organization also need to prepare. It's not only the generation responsibility, the organization where they're going to work or where they're going to be associated, they have to also prepare themselves to accommodate this type of a generation. So in this slide, that slide, before I move into the preparing for the workforce, we need to understand that yes, there is some negative impact may happen and we should be preparing for that negative impact. We understand that there is going to be a hybrid workforce. Gig workers will be there, remote workers will be there, hyper specialized consultants will be there, and they all are expert in their field. So when they're going to be working in the organization as an independent, we have a specific laws for it. Are we really prepared with the laws aspect where how they are going to be deal with the number of working hours for being fixed for the part-time workers, full-time workers, gig workers, how it is going to be dealt? We need to make our changes in the HR policies in that aspect, which should be matching with the regulations of the countries. Second thing I would say that we have to invest a lot in the AI. It's not only the investment in the some small technology and we are saying that we have become artificial intelligence in the workplace, but we need to have a superior team who can make sure that the artificial intelligence has been taken in the right way. There was a one question that was raised by one of my speaker in the previous session where they said that, okay, ma'am, I have a question for you. You're talking about the artificial intelligence. Suppose you're driving on the road and in front of you suddenly a kid come and there's a small kid who's crossing the road and there is a one person who is like elder age, he's also crossing the road and you have to save one. What will you do? So if it is an electric vehicle, can that vehicle take a decision to kill the elder person or kill the kid person? So that kind of a discussions were happening, that is it artificial intelligence is being able to take the decisions or not? Till now, they can only give us a solutions and suggestion. It is us who has to take the decision. So this is one thing that I've been clearly stating to them, that the work which is repetitive, they can help us, but the decision making, ethical aspects and the value making will always remain on the human side. I feel that the robots will not be able to take over that aspects of a human being. And workplace diversity and inclusions. And that is another important thing that we have to understand. When there is a gig workers, remote workers, that's mean right now we are not going to have a people working from one place. We are going to have a people working from around the places as an independent worker. Like I said about the gig workers, maybe some people from the Oman or different industry. Are we really prepared to handle these type of different generation in our organization or not? Even if they're independent, they have their own thought process, they have their own working style. Are we really completely prepared for it or not? So there going to be innovation, there has to be a success, there has to be a competitive advantage, we have to be creative edge. So we have to make sure we cannot ignore the gig workers or the crowdsourcing workers from our organization. So we have to make a particular space for them in the future in our organization. And then multi-generation workforce. Like, so initially in the beginning itself that V K Sharma sir has already identified, they're going to be multi-generation. And we are saying it's not only going to be a human generation, I'm claiming that robots are also in our generation. So the robots, the third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation, and robotic generation working together. We need to identify the needs of unique generation. Like right now, I got a very interesting answer that his son and grandson are going for a staycation and working there remotely. Their needs are very different from our needs or maybe from the other people need. So we have to understand how we can make them as a fluid worker. We have to make them a report worker, or whether we can give them the collated workspace. We have to identify those needs very clearly from the organization perspective. And in the beginning also, again, upskilling, reskilling, these are the one term that we have been using. How much I am ready to unlearn and how much I am ready to relearn. I have to understand my space also. As an academicians, as an industry experts, we have to keep on upskilling and reskilling ourselves. So recently we are having in our organization, they are working on technology a lot. And every semester we have a new technology and there is some upgradation in the software. Then we come across a one workshop and then we again upgrade and we have to change our previous working pattern. So this is becoming a regular pattern. So we have to, like AI, augmented reality, virtual reality, they are going to be precisely made for the training experience with respect to the person, rather than making a one general training experience for all the people. So we have to understand that how we can do the upskilling and reskilling for each generation, for each type of worker. And lastly, we have to make an employee engagement. We cannot say that, okay, fine, you are working as an independent. At the end of the day, organization is an entity. We have working towards a particular goal. We have to make sure our employees are engaged with each other and there is a workplace wellness. There is artificial intelligence, there is automation, and people are already fearing that whether I will be having a job or not. Every time we hear there are a lot of termination that is taking place because technology is coming place. So our workers need to be properly engaged, that what type of work will be taken over by technology and how they can be safeguarded in the organization. That survivor syndrome need to be taken care very clearly by the organization, that they are safe in the organization, even if they are going to be their job changes, what we can have them for them in the future in our organization. We have to make sure that we are having that. And lastly, I will not be taking much of the time. We have to make sure that we have some important thing. We should embrace the digital innovation. We have to encourage the certifications because they should not go obsolete. Like right now, there is an interaction section. I am sure that I'm going to learn a lot of things from this session. It's not only I am sharing my knowledge. I'm sure that whenever you're going to give me a suggestion, I will take those points and I can take that as a experience sharing session for the next session. So even in the organization also, we need to make sure that the employees are working on the reskilling. They are taking that as a revelation, not considering it as a pressure to add some more knowledge to it, because this is one thing that we say that I know better, but we need to also say that we need to know better, and knowledge is endless. So we have to create a culture, we have to make a neurodiversity, we have to create a good engagement in the organization, so that the elements of the future of work are well prepared at our level, and without any worries, without any problem, we are well prepared for our future. So that's all I wanted to share from my side. I didn't want to make it as a theory or a one-side session. I would like to have an interactive session where you can give me some inputs that what do you think? How much we are prepared for a future of work? So that's all from my side. Thank you so much for this patience listening from my side.
So Dr. Preeti, indeed it was a very insightful session from your side. I have few queries for you for further enhancing the learning of our audience. So the first question that I put forward to you is, what role you think that organizational culture would be playing in preparing for future of work? What is your
okay. Like just now I've highlighted that we need to understand that are we really prepared for the future work or not? And that is why one of the slide that I was highlighting here is that we have to cultivate the culture. We have to create a people-centric culture where they have to be clearly stated that you are also the part of the organization, and they should be regularly feel that they are being well taken care. Their participation is important. Their decision making is important. They are the part there. It's not only that we are dependent on the decision making of the artificial intelligence or automation or the robots. So once they will get this feel that, okay, fine, we are also the important part. Technology is not going to overtaken for everything. They will be able to happily work in the organization. So if you're going to create a positive culture in the organization, definitely they are going to be happy to work there.
And the other question, coming into my mind, so I thought I should ask you. You've also talked about workplace diversity and inclusion. So, yeah, from the organization's perspective, it is a very, very important thing, be it today or in the coming times. So, how do you think, bringing in this concept can actually prepare people for the future work? What role does it play, actually?
Okay. Like I've highlighted already, workplace diversity. Look at the third point. I have highlighted that there is going to be a change in the workforce. We are not limited to one country, or we are not limited to one workplace. Gig workers, remote workers, they are going to be there. When they are working with you, they are your workforce. They are different diversity. It's not only about the gender, it's not about the age, but we have a 4-layer of diversity. We have already understood in the management of diversity. So when these 4 layers are working together, irrespective of the place, we have to make sure they have been accommodated properly. Just now I gave you the example for that the gig workers can be working from the independent places. We have to understand their need. We have to understand their requirements. We have to understand their perspective. We may be thinking that, okay, they're 9 to 5, they have to complete their work and they have to submit their work. But everywhere the same philosophy doesn't work. We have to understand their space also. So the diversity and inclusion need to be there. We cannot be saying that a closed economy and working in our own space and we will achieve the success. That will not be possible. So that is why I have highlighted, if you want an innovation, if you want a success, if you want a competitive, you want a creative edge, get the workforce diversity. So this is one thing that I would like to put forward here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Preeti. And
thank you.
We are open to the audience to ask questions. You may ask questions directly by unmuting yourself, or you may put forward your questions via chat.
Thank you.
Yes, audience.
Dr. Preeti, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
You have talked about there are the major possibilities or great possibilities of robotics in industrial units, no doubt.
Yes,
where I was working, there was a great automation or robotics were using that time, because I have left that organization 2019. But the another area which we have to focus, who will take care of feelings and emotions of the employees who are working? Robotics will learn only logical communication. Robotics doesn't understand the emotions and feelings. So how we can take care of that part, so that however you are trying to cover that area in employee engagement, now the employee engagement activities have been changed drastically.
Yes, sir.
But even then, the new employers are not focusing, because you know the Indian employers' working style. So how we can take that part? Can you focus on some areas, or can you give some insights so that we can understand, we can quote somewhere?
Okay, sir. So thank you so much for that. Is a very interesting question, because whenever we talk about the
Dr.
artificial
Preeti,
intelligence, yes,
may
sir.
I request you to stop the sharing?
Yes, sure,
so that we can view the speaker,
yes, sir.
whoever he speaks. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. So thank you so much for that interesting question. And that is always been a debatable topic, not in the present, but in the past also, like you have clearly quoted. When maybe, I'm sure that when you were working in that industry, when automation was happening and when that technology changes were happening, all the people were having that fear that whether we will be having the jobs or not. And that feeling and emotions that cannot be done by the artificial intelligence and by the robots. And like one example I've highlighted also, that decision making, ethical decision making, value making, they cannot be done by the robots. So now here, who is going to be the responsible person to take care of that employees who are going to be there, even they are being affected? Robots cannot have that at present, what it has been quoted, robots cannot have that feelings and emotions, but human are also working there. So the HR department becomes a critical role. And that is what I've been highlighting with the employee, creating a people-centric culture, employee engagement. We have to understand their feelings. The survivor syndrome is a very bad syndrome. We have understood there, like once the technology comes into the place, this emotions start impacting how much job I will be having, for how long I will be working. So definitely the HR department, I think, is going to play a very critical role to understand the emotions aspect, the values aspect, that feeling aspect. If they are having something, they should be able to go and talk on those aspects. So in the future, maybe we can have a specific department dealing with the counseling, like sir has highlighted that the counseling is now becoming a regular part. It's not a something or a very small thing. Coaching and counseling, we study it together. Are we really having a right type of coaching to deal with that work and counseled enough to understand and cover up that work? So I think so in the future, the HR department will be having a more work, not on the managing of the employee work, but managing on the emotional side of the work.
Okay,
that's nice.
Question is,
so we are at the safe side, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That is why, ma'am, we are having this discussion.
Yeah.
HR people are really safe side, ma'am.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we'll be, because in AI, I would like to mention that the robots are artificial, but the humans are intelligent. So,
Yes.
yeah, that is the AI. So we should not be worried, actually, even if the AI is coming. We are intelligent people. We will be surviving all the time in the market. So don't worry.
Definitely, ma'am. HR people are the most safest people.
I am not worried.
I think Wing Commander
Prashant,
Sharmaji, you enjoy your retired life. Yeah,
Colonel Narendra.
I am enjoying, rather than I am removing the doubts of the general team. That is not an issue. My second question is, the individuals are ready to adapt the new changes where we are working collectively. Take an example of road making. We are not making roads, but we are making the vehicles. Industry is producing the more AI vehicles, but roads are not being prepared in that way. How we can match this kind of robotics or AI or our infrastructure collaborations?
Okay, sir. I'm really happy that I have highlighted the right sectors in my slide. There was a one sector, that the cement sector. So where the automation is taking place, bricks assembling, cement collaboration, everything has been done by the machine. That is already taking place. If you know, in a one day, you can prepare 100 of kilometers of road already. So like the robots are already taking over that work, the infrastructure. Maybe I think so India will also do that, because I know that the holes part and everything. I am also in Indian, sir. Maybe I'm working here, but I do understand that perspective also, that are we really having that kind of infrastructure to support that? So even like we say that the combination, when we are producing a road, I'm not a technical person, but I'll just try to explain it with example. When we are making a proportion of different cement, bricks and all that, maybe there is some error and we are not getting a right proportion. And when we are making that road, that is not completely coming out correct. Maybe there is a proportion issue.
Madam, I think I have not cleared my question. Let me frame the question.
Okay, sir.
I am talking about where the collective parts are being done. Take an example of designing of the roads, because the most of accidents are being taken place because of the design, not by the fault of vehicle, not by the fault of driver.
Okay, sir. So you,
yeah, please.
Okay, sir. So okay,
that mixing is not my worry. My worry is when we are designing the road, the bridges and culverts, turns, all these things I am discussing.
So definitely,
I think V K Sharma ji is basically referring to the recent accident which took place here in India. I think one of the most important, famous person, Mr. Cyrus Mistry, he died because of I think this road thing, where it was
basically. And that was the design fault only.
Design fault. From 3 lane, it terminated to 2 lanes in the bridge, and that's how the accident took place. That is what the people say. And that is what I think he is trying to ask.
Yeah, I think so. Now I can relate it better.
Takes place. So, I think that is there.
Yes, okay, please. Sir. Now I can understand the context of the question, sir. So when the design faults are there, so it has been done by the human being. They would have done some mistakes, and that is why we are saying that the robots are basically can analyze everything at one go, whether this geographic conditions are favorable to have a 2 lane or 3 lane or can be combined together or not. So that the collective efforts, sir, it's not like I can say that in Oman, I am experiencing this thing, and I always say that you have an amazing transportation system. There is no accident. It's not like 0% accident, but they have planned the things in such a way that I feel that the transportation is best here. I'm always driving on the speed of 120, and I cannot even think about driving up for 120 speed in India. So that's a design, and everything has been done very nicely here, and they are mostly dependent on the technology. So that collective works are, it's going to be, I think so, a combination of human and machines only. So then only we can be having a precision. Google Maps are there. We can understand why that accident has happened, where there was a fault, and that fault should not happen in the future if the similar kind of a geographic condition exists there. So definitely we can take a decision as a human being, but definitely we can take the help of the technology so that that kind of a mistake should not happen in the future.
Right. I think we have some new people. Colonel Narendra, who has not spoken. Sajid Hussain, then Wing Commander Ranjan, if he can ask something, and Dr. Naipal. I think he is eagerly waiting to ask some question.
Wing Commander Verma,
you can join.
I would like to say something regarding Dr. Preeti's topic.
Yeah.
The interesting part is that if you want to see a combination of robotics and human, you can go to Gurdwara Bangla Sahib, where the langar is prepared.
Yes.
If any of you have gone there, inside, if you go and see the kitchen, half of it is robotics management developed by human minds, and half of it is, monitored by humans. Like the kneading of the dough and the roti maker. A lot of robotics is being done in that. And it's cutting of the vegetables. It's very interesting. I'm just giving this example because I want to say that humans cannot be replaced, because robotics, though humans also need maintenance, like robotics needs maintenance, humans cannot be replaced, because ultimately it is the human mind that will be required to develop the robotics.
Okay, it's a long discussion. Dr. Naipal?
Yes, Vermaji. Good evening, everyone. Just the session, of course, was wonderful and a very relevant topic. I would like to ask, like the engagement of employees, the engagement of robotics, because they can work 24/7, and they can, like in automobile sector, already the layoff of so many jobs and the cut of manpower. And similarly, the engagement of robotics, how it could be done in the near coming future, like we are talking about the 2050. Certainly, robotics will have the more roles. And of course, as I discussed earlier, human touch and emotions of the human beings will be taken care by the only humans, not by the robots. So how we would engage the robotics?
So thank you so much for that question, sir. There are a lot of Hollywood movies you would have seen and come across where the robots can have feelings. If you would have seen some of the movies, there are movies that has been clearly saying that the robots are machines, but they can also have the feelings because human beings are working in such a way that we want to make it similar to human being. So if it happens, then definitely we need to make them more engaged like a human being. Because the engagement, if you talk about the robots, we just switch them off and they can be kept aside. No more work, no more disturbance from them. No more engagement is required. Just switch off the button and matter finish. But if they start having the feelings and the emotions, then definitely we have to identify the similar ways like we are dealing with the human being. How to engage them. They are having an energy. They are having everything like similar to us. Then definitely we have to identify the practices, like how they are going to work together. So we have to create their departments, we have to create their policies, we have to create their separate structure to engage them. So they are not being destructive to the other parts. So till now, sir, I think so that if we talk about the robots without emotion touch, without value, just switch them off and they are no more required to be engagement activities required. So I think so, sir. In the future, this will be different scenario, sir.
That's very nice. And I would like to extend my question regarding the employment in the coming future. Like it would be what full-time employment in the near future, as already we are thinking about the moonlighting, it would be legal or whatever. In my concern, the moonlighting is a good option, and like we can utilize our skill, what we are at the best. So we can say that is our choice. So
yes,
what is the role of the full employment and contract labor? How the employee, and that time of the engagement of employment of employees in the regular or part-time or the full-time or the contractual, what the options going to be stay?
Okay, sir. So like I have highlighted in my one of the element of the worker, where the work will be done and how the work will be done. So it will be in combination. It cannot be a completely a full-time worker, or we have to identify the sectors and the job. Like you said that the contract workers or the full-time worker, we have to identify the requirements. As an HR specialist, all of you are the HR specialists, we understand the importance of job description and specifications. So we have to understand that which work will be required to be the full-time employee, collated workplaces, or which work is going to be the remote workers. So it is going to be a good work on the HR department to make sure that whether it is going to be moonlighting, it's going to be other areas, we need to be changing our policies and the HR practices as per that, sir. So I am not really sure how it is going to be, but I feel that it is going to be in combination, not one full time of a worker, sir.
But in recent past, in the current scenario, there are so many in manufacturing sector. In spite of the hiring the on full-time employment, they are hiring on the contractual. Even so many education sector, the government are giving the employment contractual. In so many different kind of sectors they are going to contractual, but they are not going to go for the full-time employment.
Full-time employment. So that is what it will be an impact, sir. That is what I said. Gig workers are going to take over. Remote workers are going to be take worker. Crowdsourcing is already there. And I shared the Niti Aayog report for the same reason. There is going to be employment, but certainly are we really convinced with that type of employment or not?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. I have one observation. The drones and robotics, they are already in the chemical process industries. Robotics have taken over the operations in hazardous areas, like pipeline inspection, internal inspection of hazardous tanks, and drones are there for field inspection. So they are going to stay and more use. I have also used these drones and particularly robotics for inspection of hazardous chemical tanks internal, where human people are not willing to go. And if they have to go with a lot of precaution, like some breathing mask and all those things. Now robotics can go and make an inspection on the internal surface of the tank, take readings at different locations, and give a more comprehensive thickness schedule or profile, how it looks like. And they can make a photograph also, how the tank looks from. So I don't have to go inside. Whereas 20 years earlier, I had to go inside. To go inside, I have to prepare the tank for safe operations. And there are a lot of SOPs are there, how to make this tank, evacuate the tank, pressurizing, depressurizing, then pressurizing, air purging. And it takes 7 days to 8 days. But now I have to only evacuate the tank, purge it for this, put the robot, program it, and it gives me a profile, what is the internal thing. Same is and drones, of course, they are used for field inspection, particularly where the areas are very big, like salt operations, where areas are big, drones are working. Then they are more for safety and security of the installations. That's just observations.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much, sir. I have also talked about the drones in many industries, like how they are going to be takeover. But the the usage is very limited, where we can have this scope to the large level with the better usage in the different type of industries. If we talk about the education industries, till now we are not having. We have to go do the invigilation. Drones are not doing it, so our job is still safe in that aspect. So definitely in the future we can expect that even the invigilations are no more required to be done by us as a teacher, but maybe done by the drones in the future.
Dr. Preeti, I think I have also one question.
Yes,
you talked about the future of work.
Yes, sir.
And you said in the beginning, I think we don't know what will be the work in 3 years or 5 years time.
Yes, sir.
Could you give some glimpse of anything like 10 years or 15 years back, nobody knew there will be a Facebook or Twitter,
yes,
social
sir.
sites
yes, sir.
like this.
Yes, sir.
So could you give some 1 or 2 predictions for next 5 years or 10 years? Future
Okay, sir.
of
Okay, sir. So that is what I've been keep on telling to my students. So I will just I will share this example very clearly. I will be telling them that whatever you're studying here, it will be obsolete after 5 years. So imagine you have putting up so much of efforts. Are you really valuable for the industry or not? And I am saying to myself also that imagine I am being replaced, because you can learn from YouTube. You can learn from the edX. There are so many companies which are offering online courses. Do you really need me in the class or not? That is first question that I will ask them. Then they will say, no, teacher, we need you in the class. Then I say, no, maybe in the 2050, maybe I can just be at the back end. When you have a problem, you can come and ask me the solution, but maybe I will not be there. A robot will be there, a program will be there. They are going to show you the PPT. You have a repetitive questions. When I observe as a teacher, every batch come with the same 2-3 similar questions. Very rarely we will be getting a different question from the students at that particular level. So I think
I think next
my job will be also be changed.
And thank you. I think next year we will have online monthly session, a monthly talk from a robot.
So where the things are repetitive, then definitely yes.
That is why the industries and
so
has to match
Verma I'm saying, Verma ji, your job is also at stake now.
नहीं मैडम
No, I will organize a robot with
अगर
Dr.
robot
Ruby and Anuja Sehgal and Seema Sinha.
if robot will give a talk, questions के answer कौन देगा sir?
My dear
questions के answer के लिए तो Dr.
I
Bhaskar
think
you are forgetting that Wing Commander KK Verma is MTech IIT Mumbai.
Yes, sir.
So
he can give us more light.
A robot for himself probably, and who will conduct the session on his behalf while he takes an afternoon nap.
Ma'am, during online teaching, students were putting up the mask and they are like, okay, we are attending this session. We cannot predict it. So maybe, sir, KK Verma, sir, we'll be having a future interaction where I have to identify whether it is a real KK Verma, sir, or is it a robot, sir?
I know. Challenge, it will be a challenge.
Cobots.
Anyway,
Customized
I think
robots.
so nice.
Cobots.
Thank you very much to speaker Dr. Preeti Bhaskar and Dr. Ruby. Dr. Ruby, you have to say something.
So all I have to say, I have to thank Dr. Preeti and Dr. Sharma for sharing their experience with all of us. Indeed, it was, you know, an amazing session for these 1.5 hours. I don't think so anybody got bored. So that's part of it.
So nice. I think the vote of thanks.
Let me speak for the Dr. Preeti. Madam, allow me to speak. Dr. Preeti, you are excellent actually. You are amazing speaker, you are amazing communicator, and you tolerated all the old robots.
It's not like that. Ma'am, even I am not. Thank you so much, ma'am. But I am also in the same generation. It's nothing different, ma'am. Even when I deal with these students, I feel like, oh, I'm getting old every day.
So V K Sharma has already told we are here 3-4 generations, so we have to accept it. 3-4 generations. Yes, madam, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you. I really wanted to thank. It was such an interesting session by the Dr. Preeti. I'm delighted to invite you at the platform of the ISTD Noida chapter. So we are fortunate to hear you on the platform of the ISTD Noida chapter, Dr. Preeti. So always be in touch. Okay, so we will be keep on troubling you. You can make your colleagues also be the part of the ISTD Noida chapter. They can choose in the topic and the different various topic. We can be having the delight to hear them actually on the insightful topics. So you can connect the more people to the platform of the ISTD Noida chapter. So Dr. Ruby is always already there to connect it with you. So she will be keep bringing the good speakers for us to give the insightful sessions. In fact, thank you so much, Dr. Preeti.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As I said in the beginning of the session, I will be taking more knowledge what I could share from this talk. So thank you so much, everyone, that I have really got some new insights that I may not be having in the class, but definitely my knowledge has upskilled in this session. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It was a really interactive, nice session. Thank you so much for this.
So sweet of you.
Right. I must at the end give thanks to Sima Sinha ji, surprise entry. And we could have you for the whole session.
Such a formal way. Hearing the name from you, Amaji.
Dr. Ruby.
Okay.
Dr. Ruby, thank you for organizing all this. And V K Sharma ji being a special guest. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
To all the members, KK Prasad, Colonel Narendra, who have not spoken, but thanks goes to all, Parag Kumar. Thank you very much for joining, and please keep joining us for the monthly session. And thanks to Preeti Bhaskar. I hope you extend the ISTD information to your students and we'll take it further.
Sir.
Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you.
Before we close this session, I would like to give a special thank you note to Dr. Ruby. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruby. If you were not there, definitely I wouldn't have got a chance to interact with these lovely people. So definitely I would like to become the part of this chapter, and it was really nice session. So special thanks to Dr. Ruby, and definitely, sir, you have been regularly in touch with me, exchanging the mails on time, and I'm a little bit late with the reply because of the time difference. I hope, sir, you can understand that. But so really sorry for that, sir. But thank you so much, sir. It was really nice interactive session.
And thanks to Anuja Sehgal.
Yes, so definitely to all the people, it was really nice. And thank you so much.
We hope to see you in person again.
Definitely. Yes, definitely will try.
And of course, we would like to invite you for another session. Very definitely, nice session, very interactive and very informative.
Definitely, ma'am.
Thank you so
Would like to have in the future also, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye to all.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.